Yeah, you are, you bitch.
Hi, Craig.
I hope you plan to cut that out.
Our recording.
Yeah. I always am tempted to leave in Lavere's fucking hi, Craig, because he does it every single time.
What?
Yeah, we use it in the Candlekeep games because I record them and I edit them and post them. He does it every time.
What does he do?
He says hi, Craig, every time.
Oh, okay.
I just want Craig to feel acknowledged.
He is.
Maybe Craig doesn't want to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
Well, it's too bad.
I see you, Craig. You are valid.
You are valid.
All right. Are we ready? Does everyone have their stuff? Do we want to do kind of what we did? Actually, I think we'll do what we did last time when it comes to rolling for who is going to go when. Except for Nud, I think, will be last. Just with how this will go. Let's see here. Alright, let me pour out these dice. And I will give the intro in my old wizard man voice that I love to do. Alright, are we all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this.
We begin our adventure in the Sanctuary City, the neutral zone turned city, wherein all nations come together for peace, negotiations, and internal relations. A new initiative has been proposed and accepted to start its infancy this day. Would-be adventurers from all walks of life will be brought together in small groups to quest across the continent, being given a free pass to move country to country without harassment. Those who have been chosen have either established themselves with a respectable guild or group, are pillars of their respective communities, or hold more than one citizenship already. Let's find out who we're going to start with here. We are going to start with Kaius.
Let's go.
Kaius. The teleportation circle you were teleported through, believe it or not, has brought you to a dimly lit room that appears to be made of some sort of concrete or stone. It's all slicked, other than the bare stone ground with the teleportation circle chiseled in for permanency. And in front of you, a desk. Behind that desk sits a robed dwarf with a quill and book. Slicked back hair in a tight bun or ponytail, hard to tell from this angle. And to his right, a man in heavy plate mail. Features hidden under the helm. Short sword to his right, which his hand appears to be resting on currently. The dwarf looks up to you from his book. Name and business in Sanctuary.
Hi, I'm Kaius. I'm Oh right. I want to hand him the little writ I have from my master and slide it to him. This. I'm here for this.
So you're here for the initiative.
Yes.
Alright. He writes something down in his book. Please see yourself to the Quilted Court presently. Should you have need of transport from Sanctuary, know that there is a fee of 10 gold a person.
For this? I want to point to the circle.
You may also, if you feel free to take some time and memorize the circle if you'd like.
Ooh.
Just stand clear of it in case more people come through.
Well, I want to sit and open my book and begin to jot it down.
All right, roll me just a straight up. I'll allow you to either roll a raw intelligence or Arcana. I believe you're versed in Arcana, so either one you would like.
I am. I'll do Arcana. Let me see. Grab my dice. 15.
15. Yeah, easy enough. Very low DC on this. You've seen it before. You know by heart the teleportation circle in your master's inverse tower. You get this one down. In the future, should you gain that spell and that ability, you would be able to teleport here if you would like.
Wunderbar.
There is a set of stone stairs behind the plated gentleman who moves out of the way so you may pass. Still a hand on his sword.
Alright. After I get the circle, I will head to the... You said it was the quilted court?
Correct. So you're still in this building. It looks like it doesn't lead directly out. It looks like there is an upstairs.
I want to point upstairs and... What's up there?
Welcome desk, information desk.
Pamphlets?
More like directions. If you're looking for something specific, Televendra will help you out.
Okie dokie. Bye-bye now. I will head upstairs.
He looks like he's getting ready to say something and just kind of like looks back down in his book. You head up the stairs that he directs you towards. They wind up to an upstairs. Another room. This one's not made of stone completely. It looks like the floor and the roof above you is made out of these wooden slats. It's more than likely above you is probably a second floor, though from here you don't see how to get up from here. There doesn't seem to be any staircase or ladders leading up to a second floor. You do see a similar desk that you saw downstairs, but behind this one there looks to be a female half-elf. Copper skin, hair also in a tight bun. A placard hanging from her desk reads, "Information." Welcome to Sanctuary City. My name is Televandra. How can I help direct you today?
Oh, I need to find the blanket court? Quilted court. Oh, my mistake.
Oh, of course, it does happen. So you're going to want to head out here? She basically gives you these loose directions. You are not too far from it. You are sort of near the center of the city. It looks like you're in sort of a hub, as it were, for lack of a better term. I would be quick, though. Things are getting pretty crowded there.
Oh, my. Big day?
Very. If you're heading to the Quilted Court, I imagine that you probably are aware.
Yes, lots and lots of people. Well, thank you.
She smiles politely. Of course, if you need anything, we're always here to help.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
And I will head there. Post-haste.
Alright, you head out. The city is... You're from Glow Hollow, sorry. You're from Glow Hollow. It's a fairly big underground city. But things aren't exactly tall there. Everything is underground. You know what 2 stories and stuff like that look like. You've been around before. Here the buildings are massive. 3 to 5, maybe 6 stories tall. Paved roads. Buildings made out of, it looks like a myriad of different materials, each one differing from the next. Architecture that does not seem to fit one another. Some of them look familiar to you. Some of them look to be the same style of building and architecture you're used to seeing from your home country. And as you travel down, there are hawkers peddling wares, everything from food to curios, some claiming to have grand relics and scrolls, and as you kind of keep an eye out, those pique your interest, I imagine. No check necessary, very clearly not real, very clearly forgeries. People looking to just make a quick buck off of the crowd, it looks like.
What were the forgeries you said again?
Like things like scroll, like claiming to be selling scrolls or great spells. Nothing that looks to be real. You could
Actually
certainly,
real.
yeah, you can inspect if you'd like and see if you can sort through some of that stuff.
Is it pretty close to where I need to be? Like,
Yeah, you're fairly close to where you're getting kind of through. Like there's starting to be like a big like throng of people kind of coming through and starting to bump elbows and shoulders and whatnot.
okay. I mean, if I'm close, then I'll like meander through the stalls, inspecting, see if I can find anything that looks
All right,
interesting.
roll me. So I'll give you a choice. If you're just looking for anything interesting, roll me an investigation roll. If you're looking for specifically something arcane, magic, or spell related, roll me an arcana check.
I think he'll given his personality, he's looking for an oddity, something out of place, something different, something you don't see every day.
Okay.
So that'd be the investigation.
Yes, you may roll me an investigation check.
14.
A 14. Looking through, it's a lot of junk. It's a lot of it's like a lot of airport gifts. Like there's a lot of like I came to Sanctuary City and all I got was this shitty shirt. That sort of thing. Looking through some of that, you do see there are one or two oddities here. You see what looks to be it looks like a crystal or glass rod of some sort. The hawker tells you it keeps your hands warm in the colder parts of the country, the world.
Looking at it, can I tell whether that's true or not?
Yeah, you have seen these before, although you've lived in Glow Hollow, so you haven't necessarily needed them. This is a rod of hand warming. This is something that, mechanically speaking, if you were dealing with the harsh, cold environment, if you don't have cold resistance, this would give you advantage on a check for that.
Does it have a price?
It does. He is selling it for, it looks to be 50 gold.
Oh shoot, I only have 10. Well, thank you, and I'll set it back down.
You can always come back.
Yeah. Okay, I will.
The other thing you find that might interest you is a book, a small little book. It doesn't look to be arcane in nature, but it has a lot of kind of lore and like fairy tales. It's clearly like for kids. And you've read, fairy tales and stuff like that. You read a lot growing up. But these aren't the ones you're used to growing up with. It looks like there are a couple you recognize. But it looks like this is a compilation of fairy tales for kids from all of the nations.
Ooh. I want to pick it up and kind of like wave it in the seller's face. And how much?
She kind of like looks a little bit disturbed. 2 gold.
Yay! I will pull out 2 and put it down.
All right.
I want to like kind of hold it over my shoulder and look, Remy, stories, and just kind of start walking away.
Yeah, you do that. She doesn't seem to respond to you, Remy. But then again, she's there. Always.
I will head to the court.
Alright, we will jump to see here. We will jump over to Zen, or Zensika, I believe, right?
Zensika, but you can call me Zen.
Zensika. We'll do Zen if they're fine with it.
Yes.
Zensika, or Zen, the road for you has been fairly pleasant, without really much issue or hassle, other than the occasional dreary weather. Your mother's food that you're used to eating ran out a few days ago, but you've made do with the rations and what you could barter for and get on the road. People on the road seemed pleasant enough to help a young halfling on her way to the big city. Lots of small little words of wisdom. Keep your eyes on your coin purse and make sure you're in an inn before nightfall, that sort of a thing. Maybe a little bit condescending. You're fully grown after all, but they mean well, or seem to at least. Having passed through the grand capital of Clypeus was a bit of a blur. You wanted to see the city, see the sights, but the deadline was drawing near, and you did, after all, get entrusted with a mission. It is a chance to prove yourself, and you very well can't fail because you were sightseeing. If there is anything that you would have liked to have picked up along your way, you can certainly have done so, if you'd like. If there's any general kind of items that you would have wanted with what money you have, you could have picked those up along your way.
She did pick up something in particular.
Okay.
And she's very much enamored with it.
Are you talking about the item that we talked about earlier today?
Yes.
I'll say you picked that up from someone traveling. It was getting to be late. An older farmer fellow. His name was, let's see here. We'll give him one. Let's see. Lawrence, we'll say. Lawrence, an older farmer gentleman, saw that you were out. He offered you a ride. It was the opposite direction from where you were going, but thought it wasn't safe for you, out to be in the dark and such. You declined. You had somewhere to be. He felt bad. He couldn't at least give you something, so he gave you his lantern. He said it has a little bit of oil. Been in his family a while, but he's been in want for a new one for a while and hasn't been able to justify it. So why not kill two birds with one stone? Why not help out someone a little bit down their luck, maybe in need, and give himself a reason to get something newer? It's this darkened iron wrought lantern. It hangs nicely. It's not as heavy as you feel like it would be for what the material looks to be made out of. It's fairly light. It's well taken care of, if not old. A tiny little, like, macabre skull carved into the top lip around the top of that lantern where it hangs from your waist, or wherever you want to hang it. And you do have that.
All right. Yeah, she's got it tied around her waist, just on her hip. She has yet to stop and really examine it fully, but when she first saw it, she was pretty enamored by it.
He did give you 1 pint or flask of oil for it. It's all he had on him, unfortunately. But he did give you that as well. So you don't have any oil in your inventory, you can add one, and if you do, you can make sure you have another one.
Okay.
But you haven't examined it much, but it's kept, the dark at bay. It keeps things fairly well lit. It is a very good lantern. It's functional. But it is very old looking. It is very last century, if you were. But interesting. The last part of your trek was the most interesting part of your journey. The 1.5 to 2 day trek across one of the great bridges that crosses the chasm left in the wake of the Great Cataclysm. Pristine, made of a white stone, similar to, if you know what Roman concrete is. Roman concrete, I believe, is like lye mixed with like, what is it? Let me look it up real quick. Volcanic ash and lime with seawater. But it is polished white and shined. You know that this is a tough material that is used typically throughout the kingdom of Elgrest, as doesn't crack, and it has a lot of give. Something that they pride themselves on. You pass several travelers along your way. Most wish you well, mostly traders, traveling merchants. Occasionally the odd priest or clergyman, typically worshippers of Gayala, Garland, or Alceste, denoted by their iconography. You enter into the city. You're admitted easily. There's no barring of the gates. There are gates, but guards are keeping an eye out, but they usher people through. They're not checking anything. The smells are what the smells and the sounds, the first thing that really catch your attention here. The loud bustling and murmur of everyone here. It is not unlike Clypeus, where you had passed through recently, but there is a sort of electricity to the crowd. Some sort of tension. Not quite hostile, but there's just something about it. The smells of the food carts of all sorts line the sides of the streets. Some smells bring comfort, and some strike curiosity. What would you like to do?
She's feeling a little overwhelmed by everything. So the first thing she'd like to do is to find a tree. So she's looking for a tree.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay. Perception. There you are. Perception. 5.
5. You're not seeing much. There's a lot of people, and this is a big city. Although it was in part built by Elgrest, it looks to be more... It doesn't look like they integrate nature as well as you're used to seeing in some of the more felis and halfling populated cities of Elgrest, and even the more human populated parts of Elgrest typically have some sort of trees lining the streets. These really don't have anything lining these streets here where you're at. It is just cityscape.
Okay. She's going to plan B, and she's going to find anything that she can climb and get on the top of. That's so any sort of structure, like a statue or something.
Roll me another check. Roll me another perception check or investigation if you'd like. I would say either would those be fine.
Let's see. Let's do perception. So 13.
13. There is a statue. It's not huge by any means. It's not going to get you... It'll get your head over the crowd. It won't get you much farther than that. It's not going to get you looking, up to a second story. It looks to be sort of towards the entrance that you came through here. It looks to be one of a pair of stone dogs, or wolves, with 5 watchful eyes facing outward of the gate.
So she heads to one of these statues and she climbs right up.
Okay. Are you proficient in history or religion?
No.
Okay. Yep. You are going to try to climb one of these, I assume. Roll me either a acrobatics or athletics check, please.
Okay, acrobatics. You've got 16.
Easily enough. You definitely climb the statue. Head out over the crowds. What are you doing up here?
Alright, so she's just kind of sitting on top of this dog wolf head. And she's just, like, in her own little world here. She's, like, sitting cross-legged on top of this statue. And she pulls out a letter from her pack, from inside her, her bag. And she's just kind of perusing it, just checking it. Edgar, I assume, is with her.
He is.
Okay. She turns to Edgar. Where do you think we should go from here?
He cocks his head at you. Makes a couple noises. Pecks at the letter, seemingly randomly. He's not, like, pointing at anything in particular. He's just doesn't like. He's like, you asked him a question. He's trying to just point at the letter. Just being a bird. As you're sitting there talking to Edgar, do you hear a voice from below you? Oi!
She glances
What are
down.
you doing up there? There is a guard. It looks to be like a town guard. They don't have necessarily colors. It looks like he's wearing simple leather and chain and has a halberd. There's no colors here. There's no one denoting one nation from another. But you assume that this is what would be considered a town guard here. He looks up to you. He is a half-orc. Not a super common sight, but not unfamiliar in Elgrest. Get down from there!
She narrows her eyes at him. Hi.
You're not supposed to be climbing the statues. Get down!
Why can't I climb the statues?
Just get down!
Fine. She begrudgingly gets down.
Statues are not for climbing. You're gonna hurt
What are they
yourself.
for?
They're for looking at.
That seems stupid.
Well, I would agree. But I don't make the rules. I just enforce them.
So who makes the statue rules?
That would be probably the council.
Where can I find them?
Probably the council. Do you need... Are you lost? You seem new.
Makes you think I'm new?
You're climbing statues like there's not a problem in the world.
I can't be the first person to climb a statue.
You'd be the first that did it twice.
She very aggressively rolls her eyes.
Alright, well if you don't need any help, get about your business then.
My business was sitting on a statue.
Well, your business should be sitting on a statue elsewhere then, isn't it?
That's a great point. She goes to the other statue.
Out of the city! Where's your parents?
Excuse me?
Your parents.
Why does that matter? Where are your parents?
My parents? Or retired. Your parents seem to have some work to do.
What are you saying?
I'm saying you're quite rude.
Are you saying I'm a child?
I'm saying you're acting like one.
Is it because I'm short?
It's because you're acting like a child. I think I just said that.
Sounds like you're insulting me because I'm short.
It's not. I literally told you at face value why I called you a child.
You talk to all halflings like this?
I do not. Any emotions? You see another halfling in the same kind of gear that he is in on a chair, just kind of like watching the crowd, like from the side of a building, who just kind of like, he's too far away to hear this exchange, other than maybe him yelling for you to get down. Just kind of waves over at him. So, I mean, if you're going to insinuate something like that, you could talk to my friend. Would that make you more comfortable?
Just hope you don't ask him where his parents are at anytime he does something you don't like.
No, he acts like an adult, so really not an issue.
I don't see how climbing statues is childish.
It's not really just the statue business, it's really just the overall demeanor. You're giving me the lip, the sass. I'm just trying to let you know you can't be doing that. Doing my job. Trying to do my job. Not trying to cause any hassle with you. I asked you if you needed any help, and you're being quite rude. If you
I don't
need
have to be nice to you.
You don't have to be, no, but it's just common courtesy. You know, I'm just doing my job out here. Not hurting anybody. Keeping the peace. You're giving me lip. Now, if you want help, I'll help you. If you need something, I'll direct you to where you can get it. But if you're gonna be a brat, I'm gonna treat you like a brat.
She says nothing, she just walks away.
Alright, have a good time. Where are you headed?
Angrily, like, storming, you know, in the best way that she can here. And also uncomfortable because she's now amongst others.
And there are a lot of people here. And Romeo, what's your passive perception? We'll say.
Is a 12?
12. That's not bad. So passive. You were pretty angry walking away. You get pretty far into the crowd stomping off. And you start to realize, was that an elf I just passed? You turn. There's an elf and a orc woman walking hand in hand. You turn, very confused. There appears to be felis, halfling, human, half orc, elves, some dragonborn. There are dwarves and Goliath. All manner of peoples here.
She kind of stops and presses herself up against, I guess, like a wall, whatever's nearby, and is just kind of looking, and she looks confused, she looks overwhelmed. She's
Are
just
you
taking
like
it all
just
in.
very, very outwardly overwhelmed?
Yes.
All right, hold on here. Roll something. Good. You hear a small voice to your side. Not many voices sound like they're shorter than you, but this one does. Are you all right? You look
She
sick.
kind of jumps.
A small goblin boy is right at your side. You're greater than me.
Just a little, yes, confused.
What about?
I've never seen such diversity, I guess.
What's diversity? Can you eat it?
It's sort of like a lot of differences in one place.
So like a buffet.
Yes. And she looks, like, hungry.
Well, I know they got lots of food near the Quilted Court, but it's a bit busy there.
It's the Quilted Court.
It's the town square, the city square. They're having a big event today.
What event?
Oh, they're like an adventurers event. They're gathering all kinds of adventurers to go out and quest and do great things.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not old enough though. Kicks a rock at his feet.
She kind of glances around. Hey, where are your parents?
Why?
Because I wanted to ask you to take me to the event. but I don't want to ask you if it's going to get you in trouble.
Always don't go get me. They don't know where I'm at right now. They're fine. I'll take it. And he grabs your hand and pulls you along into the crowd. And
She just goes with him.
Yeah, we will jump to Cora. If you are ready.
Sure.
Can't believe it took exactly one session for Hana to get sassed.
Judging by
Zen
the
is all
character.
sass, by the way. She's all sass.
I know,
all
I
the
love
time.
it. The angsty teen who's like got just like these fucking nice little parents. Oh, jeez.
Perfect dichotomy.
I wish-
her name
I wish-
is Zen, and her attitude is angst.
Yes, I love it. I would love it if her parents. Oh, jeez, get off the statue, Zen. Come on, you give your poor mother a heart attack. They're not here. Their voice may echo in your mind, and maybe that's why you did it.
Oh
We'll
my
never
God,
know.
Amazing.
Cora. The mountain passes that lead from Purlowan to the main road are dangerous, but you make the trek with little to no issue. You, being a monk of an order, can travel without much hassle, typically all the way to the northern Sanduuin city of Hraustrow, a river fishing town turned city with the influx of trade due to the neighbors of your country of Krissune being to the south. However, that route would take you out of your home, and you are not a full-fledged member. You could potentially face scrutiny. It would take you longer, but you could pick up supplies from there if you needed them. Or you can continue southward, take the more well-known road to you through the mountain passes, directly west from there, over the Great Bridge that connects your empire directly to the Sanctuary City lands. Which route would you like to take?
Definitely the more direct route would be
Okay.
something she'd go.
Please roll me a... just a straight up D20.
5.
Plus 5, alright. It's... like I said, there's not a lot here in these hills. Krissune is known for its harshness, its rough terrain, its predators, but there is a sereneness to it, a calming quiet to the nature here. Harsh peaks and harsher lands don't leave a lot for the smaller things that make up so much noise in forests or valleys or hills. So it's a fairly pleasant route. You get fairly close to the bridge when you're accosted. Looks to be in the middle of the road blocking you. There haven't been many people traveling. Not many people do. But in the middle of the road, 2 people stand in your path. A goblin and a halfling in tattered, makeshift leathers. The goblin with a short sword, the halfling looking to have a crossbow. Stand in your path. You gonna pay the tax?
I've been this way before. I know there isn't a tax, right?
Roll me a insight check. This would be the road to Sanctuary City, so I would say you probably haven't been to this road. Actually, let me pull up my map. I have my map as my desktop background. To make it way easier for me. Yeah, I would say from where you are going, you probably would not have gone this path to Sanctuary City, because that would be where Grandvul is. You are
Okay.
from Nangjia, which is directly south. So it's a road adjacent, but I would say that this, unless you think you would have had reason to go to Granvul or Sanctuary City. Let me see about Granvul, if you would have any reason to go there. No. In fact, you might actually have reason to avoid Granvul. Your brother was sent there.
Ugh.
To the hatchery.
Okay. Total 15.
15. There's no tax here. They don't have road toll taxes. Taxes from the Empire are taken from businesses. They don't get. The people don't typically get taxed. Businesses do. At least not in the Empire.
Okay, she'll stop. How much?
They look at one another, fairly surprised. A gold? One gold.
Okay, she'll reach in her bag and offer a gold.
He holds his hand out for you to toss it to him or bring it to him. Either way.
She does. She'll drop it in his bag, in his hand.
Oh well. Have a pleasant walk.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Oh yeah.
She'll keep walking.
Let's go, Rilo. And you see the halfling and the goblin rush off to the side of the road.
She'll snort, but keep walking.
All right. You take another day and you get to the Grand Empire Bridge, the Great Bridge that connects the Empire to Sanctuary City. A darkened gray stone that you're used to seeing, but not without elegance and filigree. Even though this bridge is massive, a day and a half, 2 days trek, you see all of the hard work that went into making this a piece of the Empire, truly. Vines and flora, and even some of the history of the Empire etched into the stonework that connects this bridge to the Sanctuary City. Not much travel here on this road. Not many people on this path to Sanctuary City. You see the odd merchant or two, occasionally a courier on a broom darting past.
Wait, on a broom?
On a broom? Are you proficient in history? Or, you know what? No, I'll say that this is common knowledge. Everybody would know this. Let me pull up my...
Like a witch broom?
Yeah. Yep, like a witch broom. Let's see here. Yeah, This world is weird and I love it. And I got a little buck wild when I made it. So, yes.
Somebody was drinking wine.
You would know this is a sort of why would I not drink?
I was literally about to be like, why would he not drink?
Why would I not? Let me pull up the Sanctuary City. So, this is it is continent-wide, this delivery service. There is no magic that you're aware of other than flying magic by wizards. Magic items such as brooms of flying don't exactly exist in this world. The brooms of flying that you see in this world belong solely to the Witch Courier Service. The Witch's a tentative and nimble delivery, or wand. They use brooms of flying, which they get from their actual job. No one knows where they come from. People have attempted to take them, and when they have, they've just been normal brooms. There's a lot of lore and rumor about how they get them to fly, but it is a very closely guarded secret, and the lords of Sanduuin, the merchant lords of Sanduuin, the royalty of Elgrest, and even the empire, empresses, and emperors before have not questioned it because their value, their utility, is worth more than knowing what. Because they have flat said that they will not tell anybody and have retracted service for a time, so they are more valuable to keep around than delve into their secrets. So they are a little bit shrouded in mystery. But if you want some, their slogan is fast, cheap, or high quality. You can pick any two. So they can get something fast and taken care of with the highest quality, but it ain't going to be cheap. They can deliver something cheap and high quality, but it's going to take a long time to get there. Or they can deliver something, fast and cheap, but it's going to be a rough ride. They are Uthbis of this world.
Okay. When she sees them, she will just nod.
They are going way too fast to even register your nod. Your robes kind of flicker with the wind as they fly by you. And they're not flying to you close or anything like that. They aren't flying over off the bridge. They are flying on the bridge still. Maybe 15 feet off of the bridge, but they are still flying over it.
Okay. Then she'll just watch in appreciation.
This little looks to be a halfling, goggles on, robes pulled over her mouth like a mask, just zooming on by.
She got the zoomies.
Sorry, tangent. I really like that group.
That's cool.
I went ham. But yeah, you enter the city. No one. It's not like what you're used to. It's not like the Krissune Empire. There's no one stopping you. There's no one demanding papers. There's no one demanding your name to log you in a book. There's no one stopping you from entering. You just walked into a city, which is very strange. Not something you're used to. Do they not need to know who's coming or going? Not something you're used to.
She will interlace her fingers behind her back as she walks and just move steadily through the crowd towards her destination as she observes those around her.
Okay. So roll me a perception check. You said you're looking through the crowd, right?
Yes.
Okay, roll me a perception check, please.
That would be 10.
10. Not particularly high. You see a lot. There is a lot going on here. The mishmash of architecture, like previously described for others, is jarring. You see buildings that look familiar, and you see some that are strange and foreign. You see kobolds and goblins and elves and dragonborn like yourself, but with humans and tieflings and halflings, all interwoven, moving about these streets. Sometimes you catch a glance, something you're used to, a glance of suspicion or maybe even judgment, but nothing like what you're used to, nothing like you would expect. It looks like people here are fairly accepting of one another. You do see, with a 10, a familiar sight of robes, not clergyman robes, but monk robes like you yourself wear, but they're different. They look silken, but heavier. It's not a material you've ever seen. Elegant gold trim around a gleaming white sash. In multiple languages, a couple of which you're able to read, it states Protectorate. In multiple languages across.
Do I know what this means or recognize it?
You would, with your background from the monastery and what your master Whelan told you, as you were told that you could seek protectorates to guide you. They are essentially, there is no real, there are volunteer guardsmen, and then there are protectorates. So no one country has openly military or any sort of police force or enforcement. It is all done through the High Council. Here, let's see here, what it's called. Where the hell is it? I got so many things open here. Jesus Christos. I believe this is just they are run by the High Council, and the protectorates are essentially they're a group of monks from all lands that can be pulled from. You have to be invited to the protectorates. You can't show up and apply. You have to be picked to be a protectorate.
Okay.
They initially headed the project of overseeing the city being built. A monastery, you would know this from your history lessons, a monastery originally sat on this portion of the land when it was rented, and a lot of people died, but a lot of people lived, and they sought to create peace in this chaos, and this is the city that they helped build, and so they are still here to foster peace. That is their directive. That is who they are.
Do they would you call them protectorate?
Yes, you could. You would know that their title is protectorate. Like, you would call any of the masters at your monastery master. You would be able to speak to them protectorate so and so, or just protectorate.
Okay. She will head up to that one then.
Okay. It is a human, female, head shaved completely. Turns to you. There are some sort of tattoos along the sides of her head. They look to be some sort of swirling waves of some sort. She looks to you. Can I help you?
Hail, protectorate. I am hoping you can help me find somewhere. She'll pull out the letter from her master
Ah,
and offer it forward.
fantastic. You're here for the initiative.
I am.
You'll want to head to the quilted court. It is in the center of the city. It is the city square. If you head this way, and she kind of motions for you to the right down a wider street. You head this way straight for a time, and then make a right when you see a large crowd. You won't be able to miss it. I'm sure if you follow the noise and the energy of the crowd, you'll have no problems. But if you do get lost, you can hail a protectorate or any guardsman, and you shouldn't have a problem getting directions. Even just general citizenry will help you.
Thank you.
Of course. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Nothing from me. She'll offer a slight nod and
She
take
will
the paper
nod
and head away.
back. Best of luck.
She will head into the crowd, Still at a slow pace, just observing as she walks.
All right. And with that, we will go over to Knud. I keep wanting to say Knud. But Knud.
Knuckles.
Knuckles. But Knud, you find yourself still in the library after depositing them. It's still the same day for you. You know the ceremony sign up and reading of the initiative's charter is not going to be read until the afternoon. So right now you still have some time. Is there anything you would like to do?
I've already placed my letter, yeah?
You sure have.
Oh, I don't see why I can't get outside of the college and stretch my feet a little.
All right. You go out and the college is bustling. There are a couple protectorates kind of keeping people back out of the college. A lot of people are here today. Some tourists, some hawkers. The college is typically open to everybody, but with it being such a large crowd, with it being such a big day, a lot of businesses, a lot of major businesses that don't really stand to gain, like, they're not exactly like selling something, like they're not like, shops and stuff like that, but like places like the college and even like the protectorates, like Temple and whatnot. A lot of them have kind of closed their doors to outsiders for the day, just for fear of being overwhelmed. There are a couple protectorates who are with a handful of also volunteer guardsmen that are standing outside, kind of. They're not having to turn people away, but they are kind of watching, making sure no one that doesn't look like they don't belong here is kind of directed where they're supposed to be in like the kindest possible manner you've seen them be. Protectorates are very much like they go with the flow. They help people direct off. You've only seen in all of your time of being here, you've only really seen one or two protectorates in action, and their reputation precedes them. That's why they don't have to be so violent and so aggressive, because when they do go ham, it's you're gonna regret having fucked up, probably for all time. Punches to the soul and whatnot. But the city is yours.
I'm just gonna go ambling past them.
You get a couple nods. Maybe one or two you've lived here a long time. So you've probably seen a couple of these people, here and there.
Knowing where the action is going down, I know where the nearest tavern to that is.
You would. Let's see here. I knew you were to ask for a tavern, so I prepared a couple for you. There are several in the city. There are four taverns and there are two just bars. All of them serve alcohol, but a lot of them are in different parts of the city. So there is the Leaky Boot.
I want the one closest to the quilted court, I think.
The one closest to the quilted court would be there are two. There is an inn and there is a bar. There is the Milk Mug, which is run by a felis you know fairly well, named Scruff. A sort of about your age, cranky Persian named Scruff runs it. And then there is the Cliffside Oasis, which is just a bar, which is run by a nice younger dwarven woman who inherited it over the past couple years from her grandparents, as they went to go retire in Sanduuin.
I'm definitely gonna head for the milk jug.
Okay, you head to the milk jug. I'll change it to jug because I like it better than mug. Actually, no, it's the milk mug. I like milk mug better.
Okay.
The milk mug, and it is fairly packed. It is close to the quilted court. There are a lot of people coming through. It looks like, despite his demeanor, in all efforts against his demeanor, he has a ton of business, which you've known Scruff a while probably. Not a super big fan of a lot of customers, which begs the question of why he even runs a tavern in the first place. A story you have yet to get out of him. Maybe one that you have pursued getting for a while, if nothing else, out of just interest or picking on him. But he has yet to tell you why he runs a tavern in the first place if he hates it so much.
What was his name again?
Scruff. Despite his name, you see him there beyond the counter. Brilliant white fur, despite his age. Blue eyes. Whiskers in all kinds of knots and twists. Currently looks like he is yelling at a bartender for spilling something. And then turning and yelling at a customer to back off. A lot of people are kind of like ushering to get, drinks or beverages and celebration or anticipation of a celebration. Get back here! Get off! Back up! One at a time!
I'm gonna wander in at the back of the crowd, and instead of trying to queue for the bar, is there like a platform? Does he normally have entertainment here?
There is a small platform. No one is on it currently. But yeah, there is a small performers platform. I'd say it could probably have about 3 to 4 like medium-sized creatures, like humans, on it. It is raised. You would be. I'd say it's probably maybe 2 to 3 feet raised from the floor, so it's not like incredibly high over everyone, but it is enough to typically give a good view of the entire crowd for someone who has stature.
All right. I'm
So
going to
you
amble over
can
to
see
the
enough.
platform and hop up on there. And
Alright.
just seeing that the crowd is very antsy, very anticipatory, I'm going to pull out my concertina. I'm not going to play a song. I'm just going to keep a tune going as I talk to the crowd.
All right, roll me a performance check.
Okay, here we go. That is a hot 12.
A hot 12. You begin. What is the instrument you're playing again? Sorry.
A concertina.
Concertina.
Like a compact accordion. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Yeah. Very nice. So you begin playing your concertina. It's not your best work, but it's serviceable. You wouldn't want to play this in front of noblemen the way you're playing it, but it's hot. You've got a lot going on later today. You're like, I'm just gonna whip something out, get these people off of Scruff's back. It sort of has the opposite effect of what you're intending. Instead of calming people down, people start getting rowdy. Not like pushing and shoving and fighting, but like people start thinking a celebration is starting. We're celebrating now. There's music now. Music has that effect on people, especially when
Sure.
alcohol is involved. So you see a couple people try to dance and try to get some of the barmaids to dance with them, who slap hands away, ignore them. A couple people get thrown out. By a half orc. Who just goes by Sid. Helps.
Hey, Sid, it's all right. Everybody, thanks for coming out here today. On behalf of Scruff and Sid and all the bar staff, I just want to ask you to form an orderly line. Everyone's going to get served. Got a lot to celebrate. I'll leave some water for the fish, I wonder if you know what brings us all here together today in such a celebratory mood. Anybody? Anyone know what we're here for?
Nud's trying out his crowd work here.
Roll me a
Oh my god, I love it.
persuasion check, and I'll give you advantage for your setup of
Nice.
the music and whatnot.
Oh, wow, same. Okay, that's a 23.
All right, a 23. A couple of people quiet. You hear a couple of people, like a couple of people be like, "Oh, some sort of celebration." Like just some murmuring. Like no one wants to speak up. And Scruff finally, for the stupid initiative.
That's right, Scruff. They're here for the initiative. You'll note, I told you that without you yelling, so you can also get your drinks without yelling. So just keep that in mind and tip your wait staff. So we're here for an initiative, right? It's an event about togetherness and harmony between the nations and all people, and having it here in Sanctuary City because we know about harmony between all people, right? We're a diverse but a tight-knit and tolerant community. So maybe tolerate the fellow in front of you as you queue up for your drinks, and be kind when you place your order. Gruff runs a good operation here. He'll make sure you're watered.
And then get the hell out.
Well, this isn't the headquarters for where the initiative is going to be going down. So, have a drink, have some revelry, and then meet you outside, and we'll get things rocking out there, huh?
A couple people with your 23 begin to mill out the door. Drinks in hand, Scruff yells a couple obscenities, people taking his mugs, but ultimately, he's got enough coin that he doesn't seem to be having Sid bring them back in and take their stuff. He would rather, he's complaining, but he would rather have them out than deal with them much longer. And in short order, a much more manageable space. I'd say a good half, maybe 2/3 of the crowd has taken your advice of, you're right, this isn't where things are going to be happening here today. I need to get the hell out there now that I have alcohol, and mill out. And Scruff behind the counter, well, come get your drink. I'm not going to say thank you.
Much obliged there, Scruff.
I'll put my own tankard down on the counter to have him fill it.
He puts it there. Save it for Filigress.
I
Pours you a
am
drink.
on the clock, as it were, so.
And he keeps pouring the drink. And that stopped you before?
New day, you never know who you might wake up as.
I've never not woken up as me, so.
That makes it all the more surprising when it finally happens, right?
Kind of looks at you, confused, not really 100% sure what you mean by that.
Cheers.
Scruff takes that cheers, and the thing he poured your drink with. Does Nud have a drink of choice? Otherwise,
Hard milk.
hard milk. I was gonna say it was a White Russian.
Here we go.
So Scruff, the mug pitcher that he poured your White Russian from, he downs the entire thing. He did not earn his dwarf-like big felis belly from diet and exercise.
Much obliged there, Scruff. So, what do you reckon? These folks all here as a mission of sorts, or we got a crowd full of spectators here?
I didn't see any I keep fucking up these voices. I haven't gotten a lot of these people down yet. I haven't seen any adventurers among them. Bunch of looky-loos.
Well, hopefully we were able to give them a show in short order.
And I guess I just want 'em out. Go back to normal. Town's busy enough.
Yeah, well, adventures take time, so I'm sure they'll thin out once they figure out the interesting part of the story happens. After the initiatives are signed and the bureaucrats shake hands and all that pomp.
Kind of just snorts and takes another big swig.
Say, haven't had anyone around to see me lately. Work with a gold tooth, that sort of thing.
He sighs. No, your debtors don't come here anymore.
Well, it's good to know.
Yes, no, it's not our business. And Sid doesn't like them sorts. Do you, Sid? And Sid's just like, no, throw out.
Good man, Sid. Good man. Use more like you.
He reaches down and roughly, like Lenny with a rabbit, pets your head. As many times as you may have told him to stop, he just does not seem to get it.
Yep. Good to see you too,
You're
Sid.
you're like, you do that thing like with a cat, you pet a cat too hard and their eyes kind of like get big for a second as the skin pulls back.
I know you mean well, Sid. You're a good lad.
Watch the door. And he turns around and goes to watch the door. Sid,
It's
as
aplomb
you
and
know,
dignity.
Sid, as you know, did not have an easy life. It looks like Scruff had a soft spot, was the only one that would hire him. He worked as a bouncer at a couple places, but was a little bit too rough, which suits Scruff just fine. People typically don't come back after they get thrown out by Sid.
I'll polish off my milk, wipe my mouth, and scruff a nod and head out.
All right. So where are you headed?
Um,
It's getting close to that time, but you have a little bit of time if there's anywhere else you'd like to stop in the city.
I think I'm just gonna walk through the crowd a little bit and try to see if I can tell the aspiring adventurers from the rabble.
All right. Roll me either perception or insight. Either one. 9. Hard to tell. A lot of people are in all kinds of mishmash of clothes. You're from here, so you've seen a lot of different clothing and stuff. You do see the odd sword, bow, but it's a dangerous world out there, and a lot of these people are travelers, so it's hard to tell. You do see a couple that are a little bit more geared up than others, even with a 9. You see a couple adventuring types, but back here, like you're on the edge of where the quilted court is. You're not quite in the quilted court. But you do see a couple people that you would assume are probably here to try to become adventurers. You do see off to the side there is a table being run by protectorates. They are taking people's names and handing them something, and then they're moving into the quilted court. You imagine that's probably most of those people are probably would-be adventurers, but just on the outskirts, it's hard to tell who's who.
All right, I'll queue up for that protectorate table then.
Okay. You begin to queue up. A protectorate that you maybe know, named, let's see here. Let me go to my big, sweet NPC list. You see a Protectorate Dernhart. She is an older kobold protectorate. Sees you. Ah. What are you doing here?
Well, yet to be seen, I suppose, but believe it or not, I'm gonna represent our fair sanctuary city as these gangs of knuckleheads going carousing across the country.
Protectorates are not known for showing much expression. She smirks, which for you, knowing Protectorates and knowing this one, might as well be open belly jiggling laughter. Well, seems you need to, jump the queue, as it were.
Oh, that'd be much welcomed. Thank you.
Do you have the pedigree that you were given?
Well, I'm felis by parentage, but I've always felt I had the heart of a dragon. I don't know if I have an official pedigree.
Don't we all? I mean your letter.
Yeah. Master Baxter gave me this one.
Yeah, of course he did. All right. She hands it to looks like a Protectorate initiate, a younger man, head not fully shaved but buzzed, who she hands it to. He goes off running. All right. You'll head to the back behind the stage that was set up. You and the other sanctuary members of this initiative that were nominated, and you'll take your oath back there at the same time as everyone else. Take this. She hands you a folded and wax-sealed piece of parchment. Don't open it until you're told to do so. And once you do, you'll be directed from there where to go. And best of luck there, Knud.
Sounds delightful, Dernhart. Thank you. And keep an eye on this rabble. Don't let any weirdos in. We've got serious business to take care of in here.
Oh, thank you. I wasn't doing that, but I'll certainly keep an eye out now.
Much obliged. Carry on.
She smirks again. Good-natured ribbing between you and a Protectorate, which doesn't happen with many, but you have been here a long-ass time. And you head to the back of the stage. You walk across the Quilted Court. The Quilted Court. Let's see here. Where is it at? That's my NPC list. Oh my god, there's so much bullshit here. A central city square where the ground is laid with brick and marble and tile of different shades and colors. It looks fairly jarring when the square is clear. But there's a reason why. The Protectorates, when they headed this project, had everyone who wanted to be part of this city as a group, as all peoples coming together as one, work together to make this square. There is a bit of lore to it, as you would know, having A, been here, and B, being a bard. There was a big argument that what would the square be made out of? The Elgrest said marble. The Krissune said nice tile. The Sanduuin said long-lasting, tried-and-true brick and mortar. And eventually the Protectorates waved their hands and said, that's enough, we'll do it with everything, shut up. And so the Quilted Court was born.
Got it.
You head backstage. The rest of you, all of you now, have found your way to the Quilted Court, eventually being guided and queued up at the desk to be part of this initiative after asking around. Zen, you are brought to the Quilted Court and turn to thank your little goblin friend, and he is gone. Let go of your hand and disappeared. But you are all here in this square. I assume you all queue up.
Indeed.
Yes.
Okay. You all are given a small piece of paper that is wax sealed and told not to open it until you're told to do so. You stand in, you are motioned and told to wait in the Quilted Square with all the other would-be adventurers. It was quite crowded getting into the square. Once you get into the square, there is a lot more space between people. It's still quite busy, but you can see through all the people here and you see the crowds on the side around the Quilted Square. There are a lot of these volunteer guards and protectorates making a line from people entering the square unless they are part of this event. They're all spectators. You are all participants. You see a myriad of people. People with great bows and axes and great swords, armed to the teeth. And then there are people who appear to have nothing but a cloak and a backpack that look to not have a care in the world. You see all manners of people, tiefling, halfling, Goliath poking above the crowd. Any manner of number of people here. Is there anything you would like to do while you're within the court? Or we can move on to the meat and potatoes of this.
Nud is gonna start rolling a cigarette.
Okay, you are backstage with the other locals. Most of them know you. You know most of them. A lot of them are trying to be prim and proper. You see, off to the side, not too far away, you see a couple of the high council members, the high seats, who kind of look in your direction. You maybe don't know them personally. Maybe you probably would know who they are. A couple of them look at you, chuckle, go back about their business. Some disapproving looks from some of the people that are locals around you, but no one stops you. You are here for a reason, after all.
All right, I'm gonna enjoy my cigarette then.
All right. Anybody else doing anything?
You said there's a lot of people like in this big courtyard.
There are quite a few people here.
I'm gonna wander around the courtyard and just kind of like be looking at people's packs and things. And if I see any books that look particularly interesting, I want to like open the cover and peer at them.
Roll me a investigation check. Or perception. I'll allow either.
I'll do investigation because I'm better
Alright.
at that one.
I'll allow it.
Not today though. 12.
12. You see what look to be people kind of like yourself, wizard or magic-like folk. Not a lot of practiced wizards from many places, really. It looks like you're sort of a rarer breed. Magic is complicated, and each nation has a complicated relationship with magic. Most of whom you see one or two maybe that look like they are dwarf or halfling, but the occasional human and even an odd half-orc. None of them appear to have any of their books in the open. for you to walk up and peruse through. If they do have them on them, they are hidden or kept safe. What about Zen? Is Zen doing anything while she's in this crowd?
Zen notices the same High Council members that were noticing Nud.
So they are all behind the stage currently. So there is
so those High Council members aren't there?
They're not out in the open for you all yet. There's a stage in front of you.
Okay.
It is fairly high up, actually looking over the crowd. Behind the stage, the locals were brought, and the High Council members are currently there, awaiting for the event to start to begin. Whatever it is that they're going to be doing, but they're not currently out in the open yet.
Okay, is there a place where she could get up high so she can see? Because she can't see anything right now. She just sees a bunch of people's legs. Is there anywhere she can get high up?
There is not, but typically you see a lot of these shorter folk trading places with the bigger folk. There's really not much of a no one's being like rude about it, like you're smaller, you can go ahead in front sort of a situation. It's sort of I don't have a way of like there's a term in the military when you get in formation called tall or tap, where if you're taller than the person in formation, you tap their shoulder and move in front of them. It's sort of a situation like that. Taller
kind of
people
like
in the back.
Yeah, just like deferring to. It's just this like automatic respect. Okay.
Exactly. So you can move towards the front, but in this quilted square, there doesn't appear to be anything you could climb.
Okay.
It looks like it is a flat, empty square for the most part.
So she's just up there with the other small folk so she can see, and she's just kind of chatting with Edgar, and that's it.
All right. Edgar nuzzles close to you. He is maybe not super a big fan of these crowds, but he's not leaving you unless you let him. What about Cora?
With this whole like tall or tap situation going on, Cora would definitely be more lingering towards the back just due to her height. So she would stand, feet braced, and hands knotted behind her back, just waiting, staring at the stage. Not particularly interested in making any conversation.
No one in particular tries to start any with you. You are towards the back. There are a couple Goliaths back here with you, and a couple taller humans, and maybe a dragonborn and a tiefling or two. But for the most part, you're fairly tall, which we'll get to your description shortly. But you are in the back, and without further ado, you begin to see council members, or what you assume are people of importance for those of you who are not from here and know who they are, begin to take the stage. You see a elven diplomat, high elven, copper bronze skin, platinum blonde hair, cropped short, a smile that probably doesn't look, that leaves his face very often. Small and confident, hands behind his back as he takes the center stage. Knud, you would know this as High Seat of Krissune. Takeo, he is a big proponent of this project. He is he's someone who a lot of people know and respect, even amongst opposite sides. He is some of you in the crowd might know him. I believe that there is one person that knows about this gentleman here. A small, younger looking black short hair felis. You would know him, Nud, as High Diplomat Sorcerer Jack Clickstep. He is originally a master sorcerer from the Elgrest Academy, and he's the High Seat of Elgrest. And then Grom Salamander, which is the Dwarven diplomat from Sanduuin, high seat from Sanduuin, and is the brother of one of the great merchant lords. They all take center stage, with, of course, Takeo being in the middle. Let's see here. He begins to speak in you all hear it. It sounds like his voice is moving through the crowd at an audible talk. He's not yelling, he's not speaking loudly, but his voice is carrying. Most of you can gather it's more than likely a form of magic. Welcome to you all on this auspicious day. We gather these fine men and women here for a great cause, one which we hope they all hold true. Our peace initiative, and cheers erupt from the crowd. People lose their collective shit, and he raises a hand, and there's a hush. Today, these brave few, whom have been vetted by you, the people, are to be given access to special tokens and papers denoting their status as peacemakers. Wherever there is lawlessness, suffering, or a cry for help, my hope is these fine few can answer that call and help us move towards a better tomorrow. Not as separate nations, coming together for commonality, but as one unified people, like we here are today. Those of you who are here today, once you leave here, you will be without nation or ties to one. Like us of the Council and us of Sanctuary City, your ties are to all peoples. Please, stand proud and repeat the oath that we will place before you. The small felis has a little stool he steps up to. I swear to uphold the law of the lands in which I find myself. You don't have to repeat if you don't want to. I will just go through it, unless you absolutely want to pretend to take this oath.
100%.
Okay, then we'll do it. So, I swear to uphold the law of the lands in which I find myself.
I swear to uphold the law of the lands in which I find myself. He will say it loud and proud.
There, all the voices around you say it. Is everyone saying it, though? You don't have to actually act it out, but is everyone saying? Is anyone not doing it?
I'm gonna mumble it ambiguously.
Okay.
Same.
A couple raised eyebrows to you, Nud, but no one. You're talking, so no one's gonna, call you on your shit.
Wherever I find myself.
To do no harm to those undeserving or innocent. To provide aid for those who can find none. We're not gonna do this. It's a long deal. I'm not gonna have just Kaius be doing it. To enrich ourselves in the cultures of those whose company we find ourselves in. To give new meaning to the title adventurer. On this day I swear, until my oath fulfilled. The felis steps down. Thank you, High Seat Clickstep. Now, brave new friends, when you entered here, you were given a small piece of sealed paper. If you have not opened it, you may open it now. Everyone around you begins taking out their parchment and opening it. A couple sheepishly looks like they opened it, but a couple of you with a discerning eye can tell some of people have already opened it, despite being told not to. And it looks like those who has a passive perception of 14 or greater.
Oh shoot.
Anyone?
I don't think I do. Nope.
Goodness.
No, I don't think so.
12 or higher.
I have 12.
Yeah.
See.
Oh
Okay.
god, did any of us take perception?
No, you didn't. I'm gonna hurt you real good. Everyone probably was like, everyone takes perception. I'm gonna not take it this time, and none of you took it. That would be great. Wait, is anyone here proficient in perception?
I am.
Okay.
Hold on, what about the ranger?
Oh
No.
no. Well,
I mean, it's not bad. It's just not great.
but are
What
you?
is
You're not,
it?
and you're not proficient in it.
No,
Oh, honey.
I'm proficient in other things.
Oh, honey. No, no, no. Well, you gonna learn. But rangers are fun. You're an angsty teen. Maybe it makes sense. Anyway, it's your character. Live him
I'm
how you want.
proficient in angst.
You are.
Yes.
God, you are. And
Officially one angst roll.
Yep, and yeah, angst roll. We'll call that. We'll call
Roll
that
for angst.
roll for. We'll call it Tude attitude or Tude for short. roll for Tude.
27.
Yeah. Yep. You piss off everyone. Couple of people cringe. But you see, I'd say, Cora, you're tall enough. You see a couple people ahead of you that are shorter than you. Their papers look like they're completely black. They have already opened them, it looks like. If you have not opened it, you may open it now. It should have a number on it telling you where you need to head. All
As
of
I,
you.
as
All
I
of you
open it-
yours. Go ahead.
And I see my number, I want to like nudge the guy next to me, and I want to. What color did you get?
So everyone here opens their papers. You all see a number 9 on here. The guy next to you, Kaius, that you nudge, kind of scoots away from you a little bit. It's a number, mate. He kind of looks over at yours. Seems to sigh with a little bit of relief when he sees your number. The high seat Takeo continues talking. Numbers 1 through 15, you will head to the Grand Bardic College, several blocks from here in the eastern quadrant. He points his hand in that direction. 16 through 30 will head to the Ground House of Worship to the western quadrant. 31 through 43 will head to the northern quadrant to the High Council headquarters courtyard. If there is no number and it is black, congratulations. You are the first fools here, and you will have nowhere to go but up. Please see the Grand Protectorate table you were vetted through, and they will tell you your numbers, as well as make sure your initial given gear gets its proper docking to make sure that you don't make the same mistake twice. There, you will be found by your anchor point. Men and women like you who have taken this oath, yet are natives to our own sanctuary city in which you stand. They do not come from any one nation, so they should be a fine beacon for you to strive towards in your futures of neutrality. Again, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you. And he bows to you all in the crowd. And so
I will
does
bow back.
And so does the felis. The dwarf doesn't. The dwarf kind of nods his head. The dwarf stands up. Well, be off with ye. Golden adventures to be had. And everyone, they start to leave the stage, and everyone kind of looks around confused and begins kind of moving her off.
He said to go find our like fellow number people.
Correct. You would be numbers. You would all be 9, so you would have been told you are going to head to the Grand Bardic College in the Eastern Quadrant, which you were directed to.
I will head that way, holding my paper in the air, going, "Purple! Team Purple!"
People give you a wide berth, believe it or not, and people look confused. You hear several people in the crowd go, "I thought they were given numbers. I don't understand." How did he make it? How did he get in? People give you a wide berth, but no one seems to respond to you declaring Team Purple, believe it or not. Those of you with a passive perception that is positive hear a small voice in the crowd of hushed people yelling, Team Purple! This way, Team Purple! You all would hear this in the crowd, I would say.
Cora will be sure to avoid that.
Okay. I'm assuming
Zen-
everyone is heading there. Sorry,
Zen
go ahead.
turns to Edgar. Zen's on her way, but she turns to Edgar. She's like, I sure hope I'm not on that guy's team.
Wah wah. It's one of my favorite tropes where like someone's like, I am not going in there, and then like it just scene cuts to them being there, not happy. That's like one of my favorite fucking tropes. I eat that shit
It's
up
a good
every
trope.
time. Yeah. Like I am not going in there, cut to them being in there, fucking pouting. That's the situation that I'm imagining is about to happen. But easily enough, you all, unless anyone is deviating, beat now or forever hold your peace.
Nope.
You do get to the Grand Bardic College. You are outside of it. Nud, as you get there, you are picked out of the crowd by a protectorate and lined up in order from 1 to 15, you and your fellow anchors. A couple people here you recognize, even some bards that you're maybe have seen wandering the halls or maybe even friendly with. A protectorate sees the crowd here. It looks like some of the looky-loos that were around the square have followed some of you guys here. So there is a small crowd gathering around as well. But for the most part, big old group of people is here. Not as big as that was in the court, but sizable chunk. A protectorate raises her hand up high. Voice loud enough. Kind of, she does not screaming, but a loud, loud voice trying to get people's attention. These people are ordered 1 through 15. Please come up and meet your anchor point and be off on your journeys, wherever they may take you. And the protectorate moves back. And Zen and Cora and Kaius, you all see. And then Norm, please describe Nud.
You see a very small, gray and pink, hairless cat with no fur and very crooked-looking whiskers coming out of his nose. What looks to be a combination of scars and very sloppy tattoos scattered around his skin. He doesn't appear to be wearing much armor. Other than a pack that he's carrying and a cloak that he's wearing. Doesn't have much on him. There's a very prominent chunk missing out of his left ear. And he's just kind of standing there awkwardly, smoking, gazing indistinctly into the middle distance.
You all see this very unenthusiastic felis standing here with your number on it.
Do I
We'll
see
say-
everyone else?
You
Yeah,
see.
do we see each other?
So it depends on how you all want to approach this. Are you rushing up to him? Are you going one by one? Are someone hanging back and seeing who else shows up?
I walk up the same way I walked here.
All right. Kaius,
Cool.
you walk up to this felis. Kaius, please describe yourself for everyone here.
You see a small, extraordinarily pale, almost porcelain-like halfling. He has tattoos kind of all up his head in a mohawk-style haircut. He has a black tunic kind of wrapped around that hangs almost to his knees, very tattered, and then underneath a very ratty, like, brown. Oh, what's the material I'm thinking of? Something you'd see like a scarecrow wearing.
Like burlap.
Burlap, thank you. That's what I was thinking of. Same with the pants, and then these just very ratty leather skin boots that have like oil splotches all over them, and then linen wraps on his hands. And on his back is a very big, oddly bound leather book. Nearly like not quite as tall as him, but almost as big as him, and it's quite flat. There seems to be only a few pages in it. And he's kind of holding his paper in the air going, "Purple? Team Purple?"
You all see the face to the voice of Team Purple member Kaius.
Oh, and big tattooed stitches across his face, like his mouth.
And I believe you had one specific like a tattoo of like a spider on the side of your head, right?
Yes, it's up on where the bald spot would be, like on the sides of his head. There's a big spider, and then I forgot across his left eye. It's closed and it's like stitched shut.
So he has one eye that is straight up, like just stitched closed. But you see this little pale halfling from Team Purple.
Yeah. Team Purple right here. You got it, buddy.
Goody.
Yep, it's a good one.
Just imagine Nud going, E1Y.
Yeah. Any other takers for Team Purple over here? Team Purple.
Who is next?
I don't even want to step up.
I know Zen and Cora are like, you know what? No, never mind.
All right, okay. Cora will step forward.
And describe Cora Stormwurm for everyone.
All right. So I dropped her character image in the character image section. She's dragonborn, quite tall. Her scales are almost an opalescent purple. They're very vibrant, but in the light you can see just the slightest hues of blues and purple, and reds in them. Her stance is almost militarial, but it's softened from her monk-like training. So you can see it's just a little bit softer than pure military, though her hands seem to be most comfortable laced behind her back as she steps forward and peers down at the two oddities in front of her, her face very neutral. The only thing giving it away is one raised brow.
Team Purple.
Seems to be.
All
Cora.
apropos for you.
You're beautiful.
She very slightly leans away.
That tiny little sidestep.
Yep.
The sliding sidestep.
One eye open, mouth agape. He'll just start slowly walking. You're so odd.
We'll save the fraternization for the after party. We have a few more members to recruit here.
Zen is just standing there, and she looks like Christmas was canceled, so to speak. She's standing there, and she hesitantly steps forward. I guess
Go ahead and
I'm being
describe.
punished for something.
Go ahead and describe Zensika Flintfingers.
Okay, Zen is just shy of 3 feet. And she's probably she's like late teens, like 19. A very pretty halfling girl. She's got chestnutty, kind of brown, long hair. It's in a messy braid. She's got kind of golden brown eyes. She's slender, and she's wearing some very nice, like, seemingly new leather, kind of a leather sort of outfit, and it's very form-fitting, kind of like a second skin on her. She's very attractive, but her feet are god-awful, and she's not wearing any shoes. She's got some boots, but they're like tied one side of her waist. So she's got boots tied to one side of her waist and a lantern tied to the other side of her waist. She's got her bow on her back and her arrows, her quiver of arrows. Though she's an attractive halfling, she looks unattractive just simply because she's always frowning and she's got this like crease. She just looks disgruntled. She's got a beautiful, sleek black raven on her shoulder.
Then we have, in order, a grumpy grandpa cat, a creep, plain and simple, a judgmental dragon, and an angsty teen. And you have all met one another. And you stand here before one another. And the floor is y'all's. Welcome to
real
Oroi.
quick. Kaius, what's your canonical height here?
I'm pretty short. Like, even for a halfling, something's off about him. So is that not like under what a halfling can be, but near the bottom? He's a little guy.
I'm just curious because as a felis, I'm pushing 2.5 feet. I'm curious if I'm the shortest here.
You would be. Felis
Okay.
are like they're basically.
Oh
I
my
think
God, I could throw you.
I think canonically, like, aren't gnomes actually not that tiny, which is gross to me.
Halflings.
No, I think like gnomes are actually not that short. Like they're like weird. Like I always imagine gnome is like a foot or 2 feet, and they're like actually like a little bit bigger than that. Like they're kind of halfling sized, I think.
I think gnomes are bigger than halflings
Yeah.
in a lot of cases.
Yeah, which I'm like, that's gross and not correct, and I don't agree with that. Felix are more like how you, I guess, would canonically imagine a gnome would be. Like they're a little bit smaller than halfling. But they can range within it. It should be just a big old cat. Big old chunky cat.
All right, Team Purple. Welcome. Congratulations. You all have the parchments you were given.
Yep. And I want to hand it to him.
Yep. Parchments, Team Purple.
She'll bend down to offer it to him.
Thank you.
Zen
Yes.
was like turning it around. Is it possible I'm in the wrong group? Maybe this is a 6.
Oh, that's a real good point. Let me take a look here.
There is a line under the 9. Like
Nope.
it
Looks
is
like,
it is clearly a 9. Like there's no way it's not.
Also, where did our music go?
I don't know, but I don't appreciate it. Let's go back.
Wait, what was that?
I don't appreciate it.
What did DJ ask?
Oh, that our music is gone.
Music.
Our music, yeah. It died a while ago.
Yeah, I didn't realize that I was enthralled by my intense jaw pain.
Intense jaw pain.
I have intense jaw pain
Sorry.
quite often. Mostly when I'm stressed. Play this, you fool!
Do you grind your teeth?
I do
Or
not.
clench your jaw?
I clench my jaw.
Same.
I want you to play this, you fool. Dance for me. All right.
Oh, that works.
I really wish I could
Yeah.
just myself play a fucking just a cranky, like, stupid, insane wizard in a tower somewhere the rest of my life, but I'm stuck being a regular person.
Damn.
How dare you! Lightning bolt.
Nud will collect all the parchments and then pull one out and tear a strip and start rolling a cigarette.
A protectorate comes from behind you and lays out 4 backpacks behind you and moves on and does the same for the other groups nearby. Not a word to you as they do so.
Right. Team Purple, come get your kit here.
Goody.
So there are 4 packs here, 1 for each of you. It is a backpack. You inspect that there are 5 days' rations in each one, a pouch of 15 gold in each one, and a promissory note granting you entry and exit to each of the 3 nations, signed by the high seat of the sanctuary, and a blank space for you to fill in your own name.
How much gold?
15.
All right. Now, we've got quite the bounty to get started here. Suppose everybody should sign their notes. And once you've got your notes signed, follow me. I'll lead you to the tattoo parlor, and we'll get you outfitted for Team Purple for life.
Yay!
That's the spirit.
That will not be happening.
Oh, of
Yeah,
course. Wouldn't
I
want to
have to-
ruin those pretty scales.
Oh my god! She's just like totally disgusted by Kaius.
Cora will say nothing. Just glance down at him.
You know, I'm sure they can do scale work if you like. Maybe instead of a tattoo, we can do a kind of bejeweling if that's more your speed.
I will
I'm
say,
going to-
Leave you out.
I
This
will,
is a
I will say
team of
in
togetherness.
I will say in this world they do something like tattooing to dragonborn. Dragonborn do have sort of softer scales on their like kind of underarms and stuff like that can be tattooed. But for the most part, if they want to have iconography, they can get their scales etched or engraved or carved into like a relief almost.
That's fucking cool.
I just made it up, so I'm glad that you think so. I came up with it because I was like, oh shit, how do dragonborns get tattoos? That's true. And now you have it.
I'm going to assume that you're joking.
Oh, no. You're looking for the Bardic Comedy Club. They meet in a different room. This is for the gang of fearless adventurers who are going to go forth and make the world a better place.
Which room?
That'd be the one with all the chuckling. They don't take oaths, see. We can go check it out after the tattoos if you like.
Yay.
Just bear in mind they're students. They haven't refined the art, you know. Anywho, I got a friend with a needle this way.
I will follow.
Cora will follow as well, but she is not getting anything done.
Alright. You head... Okay, let me pull out my... I gotta add a tattoo parlor on here. We're gonna call it... Let's see. You head to your favorite tattoo parlor, the Shaky Hand.
Oh my god.
Oh, yes.
No!
Why not?
Zen
afternoon
turns
there,
to-
Shaky.
Zen wants to ask Ned a question while they're on their way there. So, are we actually getting tattooed?
Oh, yeah. It's kind of an initiation. You Team Purple for life, all for one, that kind of thing.
Are you screwing with
Right,
me?
Oh no, Shaky's the best. He'll take good care of us.
Come
But
now.
Okay.
at first, it's totally allowed. He doesn't have any options about tattooing people who have had a few. In fact, I think he prefers it.
Can I roll an insight to see if he's serious?
Sure. You roll an insight, and if you would like, Nud, you may roll persuasion or deception. You don't have to tell anyone what you're rolling.
17.
24.
Okay. Hard to read. It's, you tell me, Nud. Are you trying to be open? Or are you trying to appear serious? Cause
I'm turning to the group with hands open, like, would we want to get a drink first?
he is being dead serious about these tattoos. I mean, you look at him. He is a sphinx-like cat covered in them. There's not a ton of canvas, but what canvas there is, it is utilized.
I will say, a solid proportion of them look like feminine names, most of them with hashes and X's through them.
Oh my.
A fine tapestry. Welcome to your Team Purple. Fucking love this. Such a different dynamic than I'm used to.
Zen is reading one of the names on Nud. Who's Christelle?
Christelle was a kind of traveling acrobat. Knew her when I was young. She had this trick that she would do with her tongue. It was kind of like a
Oh my god.
inverted somersault.
Cora just covers her mouth.
Yeah, she was the only one allowed to do it, too. She had it registered with a king, I understand. So that was her patented move. Yeah.
Huh. Zen looks mildly interested.
Cora's just. It's just. Oh my god.
Tell you what,
Cover her mouth.
this is my city, Team Purple. I'll get the first round. How's that sound?
Of what?
Whatever. Drinker's choice.
Oh boy.
So there are a total of 6 places that you're well aware of that are fairly popular that you could go to for a drink. The 4 Inns, which are the Leaky Boot, the Milk Mug, which you of course know, the Gilded Scale, scale as in like balancing scale or merchant scale, not scale as in dragon, and the Emperor's Guest House, which was formerly called the Empress's Guest House, and then the 2 bars, which are the Mud Skip's Respite and the Cliffside Oasis. They are in different parts of the city. Some people from some nations like some more than others, so sometimes you'll find the populations of them a little bit sort of grouped. You typically won't see an elf in the Milk Mug, and you wouldn't usually see a human in the Emperor's Guest House. That sort of a situation.
Do I know which one is most proximate to the shaky hand tattoo parlor?
Oh, the fucking Milk Mug for sure.
Oh my
Go ahead, right
god.
back there.
Like, Scruff is sort of, whether it's on purpose or not, sort of facilitates bad choices.
Perfect. Yeah, that's why we're friends.
You say you're friends, but it's not something that has ever been mutually reciprocated. More of an unspoken thing.
I'll lead the gang to the Milk Mug.
You all follow this this small felis. Some of you walking at your normal pace. One of you having to maybe walk a little bit slower than you're used to. Get used to that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Do you want to carry us?
I'm pretty
6
sure I could carry all three of you.
I'm 6 foot. My wife is like 5'4", so like I know the pain of having to walk for a shorty. I have a wider gait than she does for sure. So I imagine this is even worse because they are like 3 feet tall and you're what, like 7?
I'm 6'3".
Yeah, huge. So you get to a sign hanging out of this. It's not super far from the quilted square. Most of the crowd has kind of started going and buying things. You see the quilted square has people with carts and merchants that look like are starting to move into it. More than likely, it's usually where they are. Odd trinkets and curios being hawked and food and whatnot. But you are led to the front of a tavern. On it a sign with a very simple iconography of a tankard that looks to be overflowing with a white liquid that you assume is the same as the name, the milk mug.
Oh god, I hope it's milk.
Oh god. Listen, I'm not running that kind of campaign, alright? Despite the vibe, despite the vibe Nud's giving y'all, I'm not running that kind of campaign. I do not know you all well enough. It's bad enough I have to be an old lady and flirt with Nud later. And deal with whatever Kaius has going on, but... But, you walk in, I presume, unless anybody is hesitating, you all see a rough, pot-bellied Persian cat behind a counter. Ah, hell! Didn't you just leave?
Yeah, that was before I decided to come back, though, so I brought my friends. We're Team Purple, and we need some celebratory and, I suppose, salutary drinks.
Fine. Come in.
Don't
Don't let the door turn you into a bobtail on your way in.
Kaius will loudly declare, "First round is on the kitty."
What?
And I point to Nud.
This one, yeah. Nah, don't worry about it, Scruff. I got this one. We just got a sign-on bonus, as it were, so yeah. Good for it.
He just kind of looks at you all a moment, grumbles under his breath, and comes out with 4 pitchers, 2 of which he slides over to you. One is your usual Nud, the other looks to be ale, and the other one he looks like he's keeping for himself. They are serving pitchers.
Thank you. You say, let's grab a table and swap war stories, huh?
Hi, yeah, sorry. Excuse me, Mr. Bartender?
Yeah.
Do you have any root tea?
Are you?
I
He looks.
too would appreciate tea.
We have alcohol or water.
So with that water, could you maybe put some roots in it and let that steep? That's something that you could possibly do?
So I'll counter offer you. I'll give you a trowel. You can go out back and dig up some roots and do whatever the fuck you want with them.
Okay, cool.
I want to extend my
Counter
hand for the
offer.
trowel.
You're doing what, Kaius?
I extend my hand for the trowel.
He goes and gets down and goes to the, like, you hear, like, some banging and shit, and he comes back and hands you a fucking, like, rusty ass. It probably has been sitting in this back fucking, like, room forever. Like, you see, like, just a myriad of fucking, like, bags and shit, like, when he goes back into this, like, back, like, storage room, and he comes back and he hands you a fucking, like, this rusty, dank ass shovel.
I'm gonna go out back.
Alright. You go out back. We'll deal with that in a second. What was your response to that, Zen?
Counter offer. How about I pay you and you give me what I want?
Counter offer. How about you don't pay me and you fucking leave? Fucking nut, who is this asshole?
Oh man, that one's on me. I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry. I didn't get your name.
Zensika Flintfingers. You can call me Zen.
Zen. Zapped. Scruff, this here's Zen. And I'm gonna pour her a glass of milk and we're gonna have a conversation.
Do whatever you want. And he, like, kind of, like does a hand wave off and, like, kind of goes back from behind the bar with his pitcher, grumbling some more. Sid is just kind of chuckling. There's not, like, a threat here. So, like, Scruff is just getting mad, and you know that, like, they just, like, kind of laugh usually when Nud gets mad. Like, it's funny. But not in, like, a, you know, just, like, a funny way. It's like, haha, he's tiny cat get mad. Kaius, please roll me a nature check.
100%. Let's do this.
Oh, please tell me what you got, sir.
21.
You find some fucking weed roots for sure. They don't smell great. It is behind a bar in a back alley. So you don't know what has been infused in these, let's say. Not great, but they are roots.
I will, like, get, like, a big handful of them. Quite a few, and
Yeah.
then I'll come back in very happy, like, open mouth, just smile, and just, like, blank smile, present them to, Zen.
Zen looks at Kaius like, are you fucking kidding me? But then she starts to soften a little. I guess she's, like, kind of realizing. Thanks. What did you say your name was?
You can call me Fletcher.
Thanks, Fletcher. She takes the roots from him and just sets them on the table next to her.
They smell awful. A combination of what normal drunk people expel, we'll say, and leave that to your imagination. They aren't super strong, but you're a ranger. You know plants and stuff. You wouldn't want to consume these.
Yeah, she just, like, sets them aside, sort of like a kid brings you a rock, and you're just like, thanks.
Oh, how
you know?
pretty!
Yeah,
Thank
pretty
you.
little rock.
Nud will start pouring people glasses of the hot milk.
A couple of you get milk. A pitcher of water is brought to you by one of the barmaids. A tiefling girl brings you a pitcher of water. And you all have your water, ale, and hard milk. Who's having what?
Hard milk.
Hard milk.
Water.
Water. Zensika, are you going for milk, water, or ale?
Absolutely nothing.
You go for nothing.
Fletcher
Alright.
will, grab one of the roots and put it in his water and just kind of stare at it.
It is there. For sure.
When does it become tea?
Zen takes the glass from him, and she's kind of like, she kind of changes completely. Like, she's not really sassy right now. Here. She dumps the water and pours a fresh cup. And then she reaches inside her bag, pulls out a few small leaves, and she puts them in the water. Give it a couple of minutes, and she hands it back to him.
I will write this whole process down in my book.
Oh my god. That gift.
Fucking mom mode.
Ooh,
Big sister
Cora
mode.
is just observing all of this.
Yeah, the floor is yours.
I mean, what kind of place doesn't serve root tea?
I think this one.
Huh.
Hey, there you go. That's your first quest. You found it. Get us Team Purple off to an auspicious beginning.
So what's your deal? What's your name? She's talking to Knud.
Knud. Knud is my name. From here, so they asked me if I wouldn't be call me the anchor. I'm not sure what that means, but show you around as long as we're here, so that's what I do. What about you, Purple? Seem to be the natural leader of this group. What's your story?
Cora is the preferred name. I'm a monk. Traveled here. I do look forward to the expedition, though it seems as if you don't.
Oh, well, you know, it beats looking back, so I'll give it a shot.
She'll sip her water.
It is stale, but wet.
Ugh.
It's like flat. It's just like that flat kind of like water that's been boiled sort of a situation. More than likely there's like a barrel of it in the back.
That was my nickname in high school.
Boiled water.
Barrel in the back?
All of the above.
Fucking nice. Barrel in the back. I don't like what all of that could potentially mean. That could be taken so many ways.
Oh god.
Especially in the back. But anyway,
Yeah, that's all she says.
So is that a no on the milk? I'm buying. I'm happy to share. As I understand it, they have a heifer in the back. They get it real fresh. Blend it with secret recipe of distilled beverages. A lot of fans of it here in the city.
Well,
No offense,
might
I just
be.
don't like alcohol.
No?
No.
Oh,
I don't drink.
Why?
It muddies the senses.
Isn't that the point?
I don't want my senses muddied.
yeah. Blood in the senses is not for everybody.
So responsible this one is.
Well, you know, that's why she's the leader of Team Purple.
I'm not quite sure where you got that idea from.
It's destiny. Pretty one.
Written by the gods, I'd say.
We are 9. 9 is purple. You are purple.
She just drinks the water.
Fletcher, why don't you drink your tea now? She plucks out the leaves. Now it's kind of steeped, and it's sort of a greenish, yellowish color.
I will drink my tea. Then after I sip it down, I'll... this is good. Very, very good. Where are you from? We have all said.
But everywhere, I guess. But most recently, Elgrest.
Oh.
So she, changes the subject and looks at Cora. You're from Krissune, aren't you?
She puts down her mug slowly and looks to you. You notice that when you address her, she gives you her full and undivided attention. Is she? I am.
She just kind of looks snotty and then says nothing else.
After a few moments... Oh, go ahead.
I think you're confused, Cora. You're not from there anymore, see? You're Team Purple now. From everywhere.
She takes a deep breath, but offers a nod.
I'm excited. It's gonna be so much fun. Where should we go first?
Oh, well, Shaky Hands, just a few doors down. I thought we'd hit that up first and get our new uniforms, you know? What do you think? Team Purple for life? Team Purple or die? I once knew a girl named Purple, and she ate my heart right out of my body. I don't know. I'm spitballing.
Ooh.
I'm open to other ideas here.
Purple hearts. Purple hearts.
Zen is she's distracted by Knud's tattoos, and she reads off another name. Who's Opal?
Opal was a real queen. Well, not a real queen, but she was a queen to me. She was way out of my league, and yet we had a few summers together that I'll never forget. Anyway, it ended badly. You know, summer turns to fall.
Yeah. She sets her chin on her hand and her elbow, on the table. And she's kind of looking at him, giving him her full attention. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, just a real treasure of a girl, yeah. I need to call her sister one of these days. Anyway, so are we agreed? Shaky hand, first stop?
Is there a place I can send a letter while you do that?
Oh, sure. If you want to hang around, I can show you where the post is sent right after. Shaky hand's a real wizard. He'll get it done right quick for you.
He is?
Oh, sorry, figure of speech. A tattoo wizard, maybe.
I must meet this man.
Oh, you will. We're headed right there.
Yay. I want to point to the raven and say, where did you get this one?
Oh, sorry everyone. This is Edgar. This is Knud, Fletcher, and Cora.
Pleased to meet you.
He hops back a couple steps behind you and peeks out.
You're all gonna have to prove yourselves to Edgar. He's a little bit picky about who he likes. Once you're his friend, pretty loyal. And she strokes his head with her finger.
He can hang out with Rorschach. And I want to point to my spider on my head.
Zen looks mortified. Oh, okay.
Would he like that?
It's a tattoo, Fletch.
Can I, put Rorschach on the table?
You sure can, and describe it.
Ugh.
Okay, I want to, like, put my hand up, almost like, you know, to get a spider to come to your hand, and it just kind of peels off of his head. Comes up,
Like-
and it's a very, like, inky-looking black spider.
At first, you see him put his hand up to his face, and it looks like the tattoo moves, and it pushes against it. It almost looks like there is a screen and a spider pushing against it before it pulls from Kaius's face and moves with this sort of slow clicking like motion, like almost like a clockwork thing, but of ink. And it will occasionally skitter quickly to one side or the next, and then move slow again.
Yeah, I'll set it down on the table and... See? Fast friends they will be.
Cora will pull her mug off the table towards her.
Zen leans over the table, like opposite of Cora's reaction, she leans over the table. That is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Isn't he?
She
Maybe
reaches
don't
out
let
to, like-
Edgar too close until they get acquainted, though.
She's too distracted. She like leans forward to try to pet the spider.
Spider does whatever Fletcher wants it to do.
It'll just sit there, like, very, like, it'll go almost painting like still, suddenly, like, not move. As she's petting it.
You go to touch it, and at first it stops moving in such a way that, like, you're not even sure if it's three-dimensional, and you go to touch it, and it feels wet as you touch it. Stays perfectly still for you. You do feel it's there. When your hands come away, you expect some sort of liquid or something to come off on it, but your hands are dry. It just felt wet.
What do you think, Edgar? She turns to Edgar. Isn't
Edgar
that pretty
is-
cool?
Edgar's not on your shoulder anymore. He's like in the rafter above you, looking down, like peeking over it. Like the second you got close to the
He's
spider,
dead.
he was fucking out.
Come on, it's fine.
Let's see. Say that. You say that, and the it comes down, not to you, who's still close to the spider, but lands on Cora's shoulder and peeks around her head, because she's kind of like perfectly still and leaned back away from the spider, so shares her sentiment. So Edgar thinks that, well, like, I'm with her, this thing's gross. Peeks
Cora
around.
stiffens, but doesn't flinch away from the bird.
It's like behind you, like behind your head, but peeking out around your head at the spider.
Zen gets mad. She like leans away from the spider. Edgar, come back.
Roll me. Let's see here. How freaked out is Edgar? Pretty freaked out. Roll me an animal handling check with disadvantage. Eight. You he shakes, like almost like no, like he's being obstinate. He's like doing like no, like a child, and like he hides behind Cora now. Like his head was peeking around her. Now you just see his tail feathers coming out the other side because he can't hide his full body behind her, but his head is gone. He thinks he's hidden.
Sorry. She apologizes to Cora. Sorry. And she gets up and tries to, like, coax him off of her, even though she's, like, way down there. She's, like, reaching up, trying to coax him down.
He hops
Cora
to the
will put
floor.
up a hand. Oh, okay.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Well, Cora will put up a hand to Zen, and then with her other one, she'll put out and offer like a perch to the crow, and just sit and wait.
It feels you not moving for a second. Its head was buried under its wing to like be like, haha, it's dark, so it's night, you can't find me. Because bird logic. And it peeks out after it doesn't feel you moving and sees your finger, sees then stopped a little bit away, and roll me a animal handling check. Just straight.
Me or
You, yes.
okay. 18.
18. So it looks to Zen and looks to you. It's like right near your face, so it looks at you, like kind of leans back and looks at you, and slowly hops down your shoulder and your arm until it eventually, like, he doesn't fly to your finger. He just like slowly like side hops down all the way until he's on your finger. But he's still like not wanting to be near that spider. Which is just still as a painting, still there, not moving.
She'll kind of tilt her head at him and give just the slightest bit of a smile. Just
He
the
tilts
corner
it.
of her mouth turns up.
He matches your head tilt.
And then she nods to Zen and says, "Go on then."
He looks at you, looks at Zen, head goes down like he's like, oh, I'm in trouble, aren't I? And like kind of hops on the table, still away from the spider, hops on the table and slowly hops towards Zen, but like he's not looking at you, he's like looking down and away, but hopping towards you.
Once he's close enough, Zen kind of leans over and whispers something nice to him, something calming, and then leans over to Fletcher, sorry. Could you maybe, I don't know, put the spider back? It's really upsetting my burr.
Oh, yes. Sorry, he does that. Yes. I will pick it up, and this time I'll like press it up to my neck so that some of the like the left side of all of its legs are like coming up the neck and almost onto the face.
It's so cool. And she's trying to like calm Edgar, and she's not like mad at him. She's just like,
Yeah, he just nuzzles
okay.
on behind your neck, but he's like balling himself up.
"You're not in trouble, silly bird."
He's just like still like not happy about that business.
Well, I guess we know how he feels about your Rorschach.
Takes time. They'll be friends. We'll all be friends. And he just stares at everyone.
So creepy.
Well
Shall
said,
we?
Fletch. Well said. Yes, let's.
I
Nud
will follow Nud.
Make his way to the shaky hand.
You head a couple doors down to a sign hanging off of a little bit of a rougher looking building with a looks like a motif of a hand, like with quill in it. It looks like it was writing, and like it looks like a scribble happened, and it just says the shaky hand.
All right, this is where Team Purple officially is christened.
What do we get? What do we get?
That's the real question. You reckon, Fletcher. Purple hue.
I want to look to the other two. Purple hearts.
I will not be getting anything.
Hey there, Cora. Don't knock it till you try it, huh? You're ambassadors of open-mindedness, after all.
There is no rule, law, or anything that says I must mark my skin. If you want to get an ode to purple, if you want to get an ode to purple, get a scale. I'm covered in them. We'll match.
Yes! Yes.
Now, that's a winning idea there, but can you just take an oath swearing to enrich yourself in the culture of those in whose company you find yourself? Or was I at the wrong rally?
Oh, I like this one.
One can take an oath without marking their skin. It's about appreciating the culture.
Yeah. Tell you what, why don't you queue in the back and we'll go first, and when you see how much fun it is, then, maybe you'll just want to join in, huh?
One can hope.
That's the ticket.
Right.
Where's old Shaky?
You head in. You see Shaky, real name Trent, sitting there.
Oh my god.
Looks like he's across from he is a older human, has a bit of a scruffy beard, a couple tattoos himself, mostly sailor motif. Across from him, in another chair, they're just talking. Looks like they're having a cigarette together. A white dragonborn, who you know as Shaky's partner, gardener. Etchings and relief. There are etchings that have ink set into them all along this. You wouldn't be able to tell he's just a white dragonborn if you didn't know any better, but he is a myriad of, like, on his scales it looks like there are, like, small murals, small etchings and portraits and carvings, in all manner of designs and artwork. You come in and they see you, nod and laugh a bit to themselves, and Shaky gets up. Hey, Shaky, looking to get a new name already?
Yeah. This one, it's kind of a team name.
I don't need to know your private life there. I don't need to know about none of that.
No, this one's publicly sponsored.
Oh, even better.
Company you see us in, we're Team Purple, or Team 9.
I'm gonna pretend to know what that is. Why don't you hop in this chair and you tell me what you want, and I'll slap it on you and call it good.
You see my purple dragonborn friend over there?
I sure do.
She wants me to get a scale that looks like one of hers, so we match. Can you emboss it with a gold number 9 so they know it's a Team Purple scale?
Oh my god.
Why not? Sure.
Thank you.
You're paying, so I ain't got no say in it. All right, hop on up. The Dragonborn looks to the rest of you, and do any of you want anything?
I want to turn to the other two and ladies first.
My parents are absolutely going to kill me. So she runs up. I want a raven feather. Could you do it In purple?
That shouldn't be a problem. Do you have money?
How much is it?
It's 5 gold.
Sure.
Alright, up. And Nud and Zen hop in opposite chairs at this tattoo parlor.
Oh my god.
Let's see. I don't need Nud to roll this. You're covered in them, canonically. I need Zen to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Can I cast heroism on Zen?
Why not?
Let me check that.
Yeah, tell me what it does, but why not?
Oh, just immune to being frightened. Right, that doesn't do
Yeah.
a lot.
I think I already have that.
You're immune
Have
to
advantage.
being frightened?
I have advantage against being frightened.
It's a
Oh shit,
Halfling.
yeah, halflings.
Yep.
Brave little shits.
Yeah, let's see. I'm brave, so advantage on saving throws
Okay.
against being frightened.
This is not
Just-
being frightened, though. This is just
I'll
a
just convert,
Constitution saving throw.
Bardic inspiration then.
Okay, so you may add a D6, I believe is what your current Bardic Inspiration dice is, to any roll for the next hour.
Oh shit, you know what Nud reminds me of? Reminds me of fucking goddammit. He played Captain Kirk.
William Shatner?
William Shatner?
William Shatner when he sang Rocket Man.
Okay, yeah. A little bit.
Not familiar, but
It's like
Sounds
this
like
talk
I'll
like
take it.
he just like talked the song while holding a cigarette. Like
Like a dramatic reading.
yeah,
So-
I think it's gonna be a long
time.
I'm not
Oh,
the man
I
they think
do
I am at
know
all.
that.
Oh, no.
Rocket Man. Flying.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
what is
like
your
that's-
what is Zen's Constitution saving throw?
9.
9. It fucking hurts. It hurts real bad. Like the dragonborn stops a couple times. Are you okay? You keep going. You done? You need a breather.
Keep going.
All right.
She's also kind of glancing over at Nud.
Do you
so-
need something to bite or
Like she doesn't want to appear weak.
weak?
Yeah.
Okay, she is doing her best to hold it in, Nud. You could tell this little halfling is having a hell of a time with her first tattoo. But through grit, does get the full tattoo. And so do you. A purple scale with a gold emblazoned number 9. You may each put your tattoo wherever you would like on your body.
All right.
Both finish up around the same time. I rolled performance checks for both of them. Shaky got pretty good. Shaky got a 17 total. Gardner is much more skilled, much more the artiste. He got a 23. He doesn't do
Thank you.
tattoos often. He mostly does etchings. Her tattoo was simpler, but it took him just as long to do it, just because of he likes to be a little bit careful.
Sure.
Takes his time. Also, the wiggling halfling did not help.
Hey, that's very becoming, I'd say.
I remember my first tattoo.
Fletcher, Cora, what do you say? In purple for life, huh?
Yes. I would like 9 overlain scales down the spine. In purple, please.
All right,
There we
that's all right. I mean, that's a lot, but sure. Probably 6 gold. I'll put it at. Why not? You're friends with Nud. Hop on up.
He will hop up and kind of like take off his shirt and stuff and reveal all of the tattoos, like the arcane symbols he has all over.
All right, I don't need to tell you that this will hurt. All right. And he goes to work. He rolled fairly well. He rolled in 18 total that time. The dragonborn gardener finishes up telling you, cool water, soap, keeping it clean, that sort of. He gives you like the whole rundown of how like actually getting a tattoo works. So that like that nice tattoo artist you get when you get your first tattoo, if you're so lucky to get like a good tattoo artist the first time you get a tattoo in real life, for those of you who've had one, gives you the whole rundown. It will bleed. Do not worry. It weeps. You have skin, so it will be tender, like sunburn. But keep it clean, keep it protected. You'll be fine.
Yes, I have skin.
He was talking to Zen, and he just kind of looks over and raises this dragonborn raises an eyebrow. All right. Yes, you do. Looks over to Cora and you. Any iconography, anything against your code, or?
Nothing for me.
Yeah, you didn't.
No, we were gonna match, right? I got the scale, like you said.
You should get some fur, like him.
Well,
He has no
strictly
fur.
speaking, yeah, I got skin, like you said.
Gardner
Right.
draws on his cigarette. I'd leave off it, Nud. She's a bit stiff yet. Give her time with you. I'm sure she'll loosen up those scales. Or maybe she'll kill you. Either way. Best not to push.
Cora will just deadpan stare at Ned.
I imagine Nud doesn't really feel anything.
So, gold 9, or maybe silver's more your speed, or
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
oh,
You'd
this is
like-
a team building activity.
If you'd like, I can etch a scale. You can always take the scale and let it grow back later if you want. Tell you what. One scale on the house. Won't take long. Get old Nut off your back.
Look at you, Cora. You drive a hard bargain, but you got the old softy to loosen up for you. Free scale etching. You can't do fairer than that.
Well, I figure most of the time you give one free and they keep coming back, so. We'll see, yeah?
She will offer her hand forward and point to a scale near the tip of one of her fingers.
Oh, that's so tiny. Listen. I am not a nail stylist. Come on, I need more to work with than that. You want me to just carve tiny 9? You could do that.
He's an artist. He needs a palette.
Look, you need my portfolio. He takes his, he has this, leather kind of vest on. He takes it off and kind of sits with his back to you. He kind of, uses a hand to point to his back. Up, top, down to low. Old art versus new art, all done by myself. Taken scales and had them moved there. As you know, a scale can be kind of put in a place and grown. Sort of like when you get a tooth knocked out, you put it in milk and you put it back in your own head. A scale can be
Nope.
taken. Yeah, that's happened to me before. I've had that happen as a child. I've had an adult tooth knocked out of my skull, and I put it in milk and went to the dentist, and they put it back in, and I still have that tooth. Welcome to the
okay.
freak show.
The scale on the butt of her palm, right below her thumb, is that big enough?
he keeps chuckling. He's like, "What do you want? Do you want one of mine to carry around? Think about." Listen, don't be big baby. Either get one or don't.
What about right over your heart?
No,
Hey,
that-
that's a nice idea.
That one will hurt. Softer scales there. Not great
Ugh,
for tattooing.
fine. You can etch one on my back.
All
Top
right.
right shoulder.
All
Keep
right.
it to one scale.
Now we're talking. All right. What do you want on the scale? More mural? Do you want just something simple?
She'll look to Nud and say, a gold, number 9.
All right. Gold number 9. Not my style, but it's your etching. Here we go. He takes out a different set of tools that he had. For Zen, he had the normal like inks and bottles and needles. But he pulls out. It looks like a sort of like a stoneworker set or a jeweler's kit. Lots of scraping tools and chisels. Really fine, and he begins to etch a very simple yet elegant number 9. I regret rolling a 9 on my D12. I did not expect it to be a 9. We're critical rolling. Here we are. You're finished fairly quickly. It is a simple number, and carving into scales is something he is quite used to doing. He pulls up a hand mirror to show you. It is simple and elegant. It is in a stylized 9, similar to gives you the vibe of like draconic script, but it is a common number 9.
Okay.
All right. Do you want it? Do you want ink set in? Like think like more like nail polish. Like embossed, it stay for a while. Or I can simply relacquer your scale and call it good.
That would be fun.
Alright, relacquer. Hold on. He takes some polish and basically sets it into where he etched the scale so it re-hardens and is protected from the elements. And you are all set. And as after the whole convincing and the whole etching, old Shaky finishes up there with Kaius.
I want to like turn my back to everyone and how does it look?
Looks pretty good.
You look like royalty.
Yay. And
It's
I'll
pretty cool.
hop down. Pay the man.
Alright, well. Be sure to come back when you want more, eh?
Shaky, you know I will.
I'm Gardner.
You too.
You already drunk there? It's like
Well, you
new.
know,
It's like
there's
new.
many celebrations.
When isn't it?
We start early. We Team Purple for lifers.
Alright, see you in a week.
Now about that post.
Oh yeah, post office. Yeah, correspondence. Sure. This way.
Not terribly far, couple blocks away. You do get to the Wand local facility.
I'll be just a moment.
Sure. Take your time.
Oh, I hate that gif.
Which one?
All of the ones you've posted, sir. Goodness gracious me. Oh, I don't like them at all. But
I will
So
step
you-
inside
Yeah,
and
you
send
go
a
in.
letter.
okay, go inside. There are a few women wandering around back and forth, brooms in hands, kind of shoulder bags with parcels and packages kind of being put into them. You get called to a front desk. There doesn't seem to be a lot of people in here, but there is a lot of activity. They call you forward. Can I help you?
Just need to send her a letter.
Where to?
Parlawan? Did I say that right?
Perlawan.
Parlawan.
Alright, not a problem. What are you sending? How big's the package? Letter? Parcel?
Just a letter. If I can draft it really quickly here.
Sure. Serviceable paper and ink is over there to the side. Just make sure you have it addressed. There is standard wax. And 3 silver.
Thank you. She'll pay her.
Okay. You may go ahead and what does your letter say? Who is it to?
It's going to be her 2 friends, Zariah and Leowin.
Yep.
And I have it drafted. Can I send it to you?
Sure can. Let's see here. Oh God, I want you to read it. They won't know out of character, but I want you to read it. Or I can do it.
Read it.
Alright, okay, alright. This is how Cora feels internally. Welcome to this hell, y'all.
Internal
Okay,
monologue.
so if there are any gods, they have decided to punish me. Collectively. I'm in a group with 2 halflings and a hairless cat. That isn't an exaggeration. It sounds like the beginnings of a bad joke, yet here we are. I'm being tested, though whatever has brought me into this circle of hell, I can't say. I'll keep you posted on our movements.
You seal it, hand it with your payment to the wand employee. All right, it should be there. If you are you waiting for? Do you want to reply here, or do you want to reply sent elsewhere, forwarded?
Here, I suppose. Do you know how many
Alright.
days I can come and check?
You can check back any day. It's going to take us maybe about a week to get to Perlawan by broom, as long as our normal route is fine and the weather permitting. If the longest it should take is 2 weeks, whether or not a reply will come, maybe a week or 2 after that. You can check back any time. Beyond that, we will have it here. And the name that you would like to have this under to check this?
Cora.
She writes your name and a brief description of you down. All right. Come back in a few weeks and check back in and let you know if we have anything.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for utilizing wand.
I love that it's called wand. Alright, I will head out.
I had to throw in one fucking acronym somewhere, and I was like, why the fuck not? Why not be witches? Everybody likes witches. If you don't, you're wrong.
Okay, just step back outside to the group.
Well, Mr. Kitty Cat, where do we go now? Where do we find our first adventure?
Well, I'm new to this gig, but seeing as how we're supposed to be ambassadors and representatives of
all the different kingdoms and countries. Probably holds that we should make appearances in each of our former homelands. I've already knocked that one off the list, so anyone's itching to head back homewards.
That's fine.
After moments of silence, Fletcher will just... Why don't we pick a direction at random and just go?
Now that's an idea.
Surely there should be more planning involved.
Nonsense.
What do you say, Cora? Is there somewhere you've always wanted to go and never made it?
As you said, I'm open to seeing all cultures.
Well, there you have it.
I think here is a fairly good stopping point. We can all think about what you would all like to do, and discuss where you want to go. You all have your own prompts and your own lines and your own information of possible quest pulls. But from here on out, you are Team Purple.
Hells yeah.
Oh my god.
So one day,
Oh,
years down the
man.
road, when this campaign ends and art is commissioned, it will just fucking say Team Purple.
Ooh.
Also, I'm totally going to keep it going where, like, randomly I'm just gonna ask Knud about one of the names he's got tattooed.
I fucking love it.
The descriptions, though, they're a little too...
They're so good.
They're
Yeah.
fantastic.
Right?
I just
fucking,
feel
like,
myself
on
getting
point.
red every time.
Right? That's why, like,
each time
when I did his
it's
one
like
with
the lights go
Ewan-
low and everyone stops and he just like there's a spotlight on him as he tells
Fucking-
the story.
fucking Zen is like a fucking young adult fucking protagonist. Just moony-eyed as this fucking gnarled old sphinx cat. Like, yeah, I remember this one hooker from the circus I knew. Like, whoa!
She had a wild tongue.
Yeah,
The
you
tongue
should have seen it. It
comment.
should have been illegal,
Oh god.
and it was.
Oh, so
Oh,
funny.
only she could do it.
Only she could do it.
It's illegal for anyone else.
Fucking goodness.